In a major development, Pakistan has unveiled its first ever national security policy. This policy that has been unveiled by the Prime Minister Imran Khan aims to seek peace with India and immediate neighbours of Pakistan, with a major focus on achieving economic security. The main themes of this policy are national cohesion, securing an economic future, defence, internal security, foreign policy. According to a Pakistan-based newspaper, the 100-page policy document has also put out detailed plans to open trade and business ties with India. The 5-year policy, covering a period between 2022 and 2026, has elaborated plans to encourage two-way trade and investment with India in particular. However, without a final settlement of the long-standing Kashmir issue. Earlier, we spoke to Pakistan's former envoy to India, Abdul Basit, who gave us valuable insights regarding Pakistan's first ever national security policy and how it can change the dynamics between India and Pakistan. Listen in.
I think it cannot work. Geoeconomics and strategy, they are interlinked, intertwined, and unless you have a conducive political environment, geoeconomics can only be a mirage, can only be a desire, an illusion. So I think both the countries, unless there is some fundamentals are transformed, changed, I do not see as to how geoeconomics can work in isolation. We cannot have trade with India. We tried all these approaches in the past to have trade and other relations, but we have seen how we come back to square one because of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute and other issues between our two countries, which continue to bedevil our relationship. So in my view, geoeconomics and geostrategic elements have to go hand in hand. It would be important at some stage for the government to take the opposition on board, because if we want to have a national consensus on this policy, no policy can work without taking the opposition into confidence. Civil-military relations are gradually improving, I would say, and it's a process. It does take time, but I do not see any, heavens are going to fall. Things are improving, and it's a gradual process. So I'm very hopeful that this particular aspect would have been taken care of in this policy.
For more on this story, joining us now is our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik, who joins us from Islamabad. Anas, thanks for joining us. Now, this new security policy in Pakistan is a significant development. And of course, the biggest question is, what exactly does it entail and how will it change the dynamics between India and Pakistan?
Well, it is indeed a major policy objective that has been achieved in terms of the Pakistani government, if I talk about it, because this is the first ever security policy that has been unveiled. Now, this policy will act as an umbrella policy. Other divisions, including the foreign policy, the national security division, they have their own structured policy, but they did not have an umbrella policy that would have been a driving force. So this NSP, or the national security policy, would serve as that umbrella that would be the driving force for all the other divisions to act upon and formulate their policies with. Coming to your second part of the question with regards to relations with India, Pakistan's policy has been, the public document has been, it has mentioned that it would want to have good ties with India, peaceful ties with the neighboring countries, but it has again linked it with the settlement of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute. Having said that, about 4 days back, we saw a report in Express Tribune that had quoted a background briefing with a senior official that had called to restore ties with India, regardless of the fact that if the Jammu and Kashmir dispute is settled. The public document of this NSP, or the National Security Policy, it does not mention that. There are some classified bits. We understand that, as the Pakistani National Security Advisor has said as well. Right. So it might just well be in one of those classified bits. Priyanka?
Right. Now, Anas, we know that Pakistan has been battling an economic crisis, and as we understand from this public document that economic security is something that is one of the goals of this new policy. Also in focus is a way to encourage two-way trade and investment, specifically with India. How will all this pan out?
Well, as we speak, how it will pan out, it will be received in a much more welcoming manner, because the Pakistani Prime Minister has claimed that it had consensus of all of the stakeholders. That is number one. And number two, with regards to the opposition parties as well. So by and large, regardless if this government remains, if the PTI government remains, or the next government comes in, this would be much more of a driving policy document that would be laying the course of action going forward with regards to ties with India, or for that matter with other countries as well. Economic security being at the helm of it, then again, not just economic security, geoeconomics, and then food security as well. So everything is interlinked, and the Pakistani side has tried to sum up, or rather give it, make this as a driving factor, as I said, as an umbrella policy, so that the other policies that are made are derived from this very document itself. Priyanka?
Anas Malik, thanks so much for all those inputs, and thanks for joining us. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.